is an intermediate slow blues guitar lesson, but certainly a beginner at soloing is going to be able to follow along and pick up some of these licks. Today we'll use a ZZ Top style backing track, and I'll leave a link in the description for this track. We'll use the structure of the B minor pentatonic scale for these slow minor blues licks today. Just adding a few extra notes, but I will point that out in this slow, detailed breakdown. Coming right up. So, lick 1. It incorporates a couple elements here with the kind of some hybrid picking, but I'll show you the simple version and then adding the hybrid picking. So 7 to 9 on the D string, hammering on, 7 on the D, pulling down from 9 to 7 on the A string, 5, sliding back up to 9 on the D string. But to add that open B string in there with the hybrid picking, I use my third finger here. Billy Gibbons uses a lick like that when he starts this tune. And you can hammer right on, hitting at the same time, like I'm hitting my pick here on 9, or 5, or 7 to 9 rather, but with that open B string. I kind of just chop it off there. Lick number 2, right in the center of the B minor pentatonic scale. Simple but very effective lick. 10th fret of the B string. Full bend on 9 of the G string. Trying to reach this F sharp note. Lick number 3, walking down the B minor pentatonic scale first position. So 7 on the E string, 10 to 7 on the B string, 9 to 7 on the G string, and back to the root note here in the 9th fret of the D string. And then hammering on from 9, or hammering on from 7 to 9 on the G string. I did it 3 or 4 times in the demo, but a lot of these are very not exact, just whatever you're feeling. And then back to 7, back to 9 on the D string. Lick number 4, going to the E minor chord. Some simple double stops here that sound really great. So sliding from 9 to 11 on the G string, hitting 10 on the B string, and then hitting the double stop here, 9 on the G string, 8 on the B string. Just keeping that same shape though. There's a lot of different ways you can pick it and slide, or just slide with hitting them both. And then I kind of reached down and did a little whammy thing just with the triad. So you're just adding your first finger here. 9, 8, 7 on the E string. So lick number 5. Using one outside note here. Still within the first position of the B minor pentatonic scale, but on the 6th fret of the G string, half bend. And then release. Go into the back to the root here, the 9th fret of the D string. So 9 on the D, 9 on the A string, 7, slight bend, back to 9 on the D there. So kind of two parts. Lick number 6, we're literally walking down the B minor pentatonic scale. So I hit it a couple times in the demo, and again, this can vary depending on where you're at when you're playing these licks over the track. But hammering on from 7 to 9 on the D string, and then walking down 9, 7 on the D, 9, 7 on the A string, 10, 7 on the E string. And then finishing off right here on the root note, 9th fret of the D string. And then I just did a fast pentatonic little phrase there. Just a one-step bend here, just a little bend on 9 of the G string. And then hitting 9, 7, back to the root. Lick 7, and now we're going to the F sharp 7 chord. Just hitting one note there, that C sharp up here that's not in the minor pentatonic, but still really reaches within that first position. That's the first part. So pulling down from 10 to 9 on the D string, hitting 7, sliding from 9 to 11 to that C sharp note. And then a little box shape here. So 9, 11 on the G, 9, 11 on the D string. So lick number 8, right in the center of the B minor pentatonic scale first position. So 7 to 9 on the D, 7 on the G string, back to 9 on the D. Full bend on 9 of the G string, 7, 9 on the D. Lick number 9. Ten, 7 on the B string, 9, 7 on the G, then 9 on the G, upstroke, 7 on the 7th fret of the B and G strings. Slight bend as you do that, back to the root in the 9th fret of the D string. You can use your pinky or your third finger here. I kind of use different ones sometimes. And then as the progression starts over again, we're hitting this B minor here. Just the three strings we're barring here with the first finger in the 7th fret of the G, B, and E strings. And I did a little whammy thing real quick there. Sounds great even without a whammy though. And then you're just adding your third finger. And then your pinky. So you're basically 7, 9, 10. But while you're barring the 7th fret. Lick number 11, a quick one that sounds great. So 7 on the E string, 10, 7 on the B string, then 7, 10, picking, and now we're going to do 7, 10 with a hammer-on pull-off. 7, 10, 7. And then finally, the first part would end right here on the 9th fret of the G string. So 7 on the B string. Pulling off from 9 to 7 on the G string, hitting 9 on the D string. And then 9 on the G, 9 on the D string. And then the last part is, and then just a quick snap off there. So 7, 9 on the G, hitting 7 on the B string. So lick 12 is a little bit of hybrid picking again with the, I'm using my third finger on the high E string, hitting the B note here. So I'm picking the 9th fret of the G string and then also plugging up at the same time with my third finger here on the E string, but I'm barring this, kind of like to keep my finger barred here in the 7th fret. Kind of just pulling off, hitting the 2 notes here, and pulling off from 9 to 7 there. And then back on to 9, and then pulling down. And you can do this lick that's really the first part. But when you add the hybrid part, and I did it twice in the demo, and again, this is something you can kind of repeat. Just randomly hitting that hybrid. Lick 13, going to the E minor chord again. I do that a couple times. So sliding, you can slide from down to almost nowhere and slide up. But for control, this is a good way to do it. From 9 to 11 on the G, 12 on the B string, back to 11, 12, 15, 12 on the B. And then you can alternate. And again, you have a lot of freedom with a lick like this. So lick number 14 is on one string, just sliding and getting some great sound on one string here. So striking 12 to 15, sliding up to 17, and then without striking it again, you're going to slide back down to 15 and then back to 12. That will take some practice for some of you. The next step would be 12 to 15. And pulling as you're just slide back down to 10 on the B string. And then the next time you're just going to hit one hit here on 10, slide up to 12, back down to 7 there. So the whole slide on the one string and then we're back. We just went from the E minor to the B minor. So a lick number 15 So on an upstroke from the first position B minor pentatonic, you're barring your first finger here in the 7th fret, but upstroke with your pick. And then 10 on the B string, full bend, release on 9 of the G string, 7, 9 on the B string. So lick number 16 is a hammer-on with an extra note here. So you're just adding a note to the minor pentatonic, hammering from 7 to 9 3 times, then hitting 7, and then hitting 10 to 7 twice on the B string. Now the next step, you're going to hammer on and pull off from 7 to 10. And then a slight bend on 9 of the G string. And it kind of ends here on that F sharp note, 7th fret of the B string. And then it's going back to the B minor chord here for lick number 17. Kind of a hard one to keep a hold of there at the end, but it sounds great if you can get it to sustain right there. Just a box here within the B minor pentatonic, just a little extension here. So 10, 12 on the B, 10 on the E, back to 12 on the B string. Full bend on 12, and then 10, 12 all together. And then one more time. And let that ring. Lick number 18. Couple different parts to this also. A couple hits right here on 12 of the B string, sliding up from 14 to 17. I use my 3rd finger here. So I did it 3 times, I believe, in the demo. Then walking down on the E string here, 14, 13, 12, and then 10, 12 on the B string. And then the last to finish it off, hammering on from 10 to 12 3 times. 10, and then 12 on the B. Lick number 19, right within the first position again of the B minor pentatonic. So 10 on the B string, 7, full bend on 10, hitting 10, 7, 10 on the B, the last part, just a slight bend here on 9 of the G string, hitting 9, 7, and to finish it off, lick 20. So we're just hammering on from 7 to 9 on the D string, hitting 7, pulling down from 9 to 7 on the A, hitting 5, and then sliding with your 3rd finger here from 7 to 9. And you can do that like at the beginning. We did it with the open E or the B string with it. But I just did it without it, just to have a little bit softer sound there.